Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss the solution for max area of island. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this problem. Alright then, let's study our question first. So we were given M cross N grid in which 1 represent land and 0 represent water. So we have M number of rows and N number of columns. Okay, and we were told that every cell is linked in 4 directions: north, east, west, and south. So, if you will consider this cell, then what this will mean is this cell is connected with this cell, and this cell. Okay. So, this is north, east, west, and south. One cell is connected in 4 directions, these 4 directions. Okay, and the diagonal connections are not possible. So what this means is that if you are standing in this cell, then you can travel in only 4 directions, either this direction, this direction, this direction, or this direction. Okay, now what we need to do in this question is we need to find maximum area of an island in the grid. So this is my grid, and let's say this is my one island, this is my second island, and this is my third island. Okay, among these 3 islands, the largest area will be of. Okay, let's first calculate the areas. Area of this is 4, area of this is 5, area of this is 6. So we need to find maximum area of island in the grid. So, maximum area of island in the grid is 6, and which is also the sample output. Okay, so this was all given in the question, and I think this is very easy to solve. Okay, let me give you one hint. You have already solved this question before. Okay, and which question was that? Okay, in level 1, if you will recall, in graph section there was a question named count number of islands. This question, this entire question is very similar to that. Okay, even the backtracking calls are same. Only thing change between this question and that question is, in that question we were trying to count the number of island, and in this question we just need to calculate the area of those islands also. Okay, so if you haven't studied that question or you haven't solved that question yet, I will recommend you to go back to the level 1 in the graph section. Just try to solve count number of island question, and I'm sure that after you have done that question now, you will be very easily able to understand what's going on in this question as well, because both of these questions are almost similar, almost same. Okay, so let's try to apply that logic that we discovered in count number of island and apply it here. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to travel all over the grid, each and every row, like this, from left to right. Okay, that's how we are going to travel the grid. Okay, and now while we were traveling grid, when we will encounter one, we will say that we have discovered one cell of island, or first cell of the island. Okay, now when we have discovered one, it means that we have discovered one one first cell of the island. Okay, when we are here now, what we will try to do is try to find the area of the island for which this cell is connected. Okay, now first we are going to travel all over the island. And how we are going to do that? We are going to use backtracking. And how we are going to use backtracking? We know that each cell is connected with four other cells. In which direction? North, east, west, and south. So that's how we are going to travel. First, we will try to move north. If we can't move north, we will move east. If we can't move east, then we will move south. If we will can't move south, then we will move west. If you can't move any of in any direction, then what we are going to do? We are going to have return 1. When we can't move from this cell, we will return area that we have calculated till this point plus area of the current cell. Okay, so let's try to move from this cell. So first thing what we are going to do, we are going to make it marked when we visit this cell. Okay, and we will try to move north. We can't move north because if we will do that, we will move back. We will move out of the grid. So we can't move north. So we'll try to move east. First thing, make it marked. Try to move north, not possible. Try to move east. There's water, so we can't move there. So we will try to move south. We can't move south. So we'll move south. First thing, we will make it visited. Try to move up, but this is already visited. We can't move up. Try to move right. Water is present, can't move. Try to move south, can't move because water. Then we will move to west. Same, first mark it or make it visited. Try to move north, already visited. Try to move right, already visited. Move south, water is present. Move right or move left. If you will do that, we will move out of the grid. So it's not possible. So at this point, or let's say at the last cell of the island, when we reach here, what it is going to happen is we are going to this cell is going to add its area to the current area, which was 0. So it will add 1 to the area. This cell is going to do the same because this cell is visited, it can't move. Okay, so till now there was one area, it will add 1 its area also, so it will give 2. Same thing, it has already moved down. It will, when we will try to move left, it will see that it was visited, so it can't move there. So it will add its area to the current area, which was 2. So it will return 3. And this thing, this first cell, what we will try to do, it has moved right, it tried to move down, but down cell was already visited, so it can't move there. So move left, not possible because out of bound. So it will return what? Uh, Current area plus its own area, which is 1. It will return 4. So 4 will be max area currently. Okay, now when we are trying to move all over the grid, when we encountered 0, 0, we were encountered with the island, right? So we moved all over the island and find its area. Now when we move 0 comma 1, this part, let's color it different. This part, what will happen is we have encountered 1, but at this point we have already visited this place already by using backtracking. So we should not try to calculate further area from this cell. So we will move forward, and if you will encounter water, we won't do anything, we just move forward, keep moving forward. And now this is 1, but we have already visited it using backtracking, so we will just move forward. Water, move forward. Again water, move forward. Now we encountered 1 again. We will use backtracking once again. North, east, south. Let's go south. North, visited already. Can't go there, so move south. Same thing, south, south, and south. These are visited now. This will give me area of 6. Okay, so now 6 is the current area and max area was 4. Now 6 is more than 4, so 6 will replace 4 as the max area. Okay, now same thing, water, move forward. 1, island encountered, calculate area of the island. Visited. Okay, now this is going to give me area of 5. Now we have area of 5. 5 is bigger or 6 is bigger? 6 is bigger, so max area will remain as 6. Okay, again same thing, move all over the grid, all over the grid. I'm moving all over the grid because there is either water present or the visited land is present, so I will just move forward. Okay, so that's it. I have completed traveling all over the grid, and max area of island that I have encountered is 6, so I will just return 6. So that's it. That's for the approach of this program. If you want to try it yourself, pause this video and do it. Okay, so let's now implement this approach into a program. Alright, then let's code this. So first thing what we need will be r, m and n variables. Okay, so let's write them. So our int m was equal to arr dot length, and our n is equal to arr 0 dot length. All right, now what we need was a visited array. So for that, boolean of visited. Okay, and new boolean m, and now we have a visited array also. Now we need max area, and max area equals to 0. And why 0? Because if there is no island present, then we need to return 0. So we put max area equal to 0. Okay, now what we need to do is to travel all over our grid. So for that, for int I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus, for j equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Okay, now when we are traveling through our grid, if we encounter land, or 1 I should say, then we should do some work, right? arr I j equals to 1, then we need to do some work. One more thing, we should not have visited this array, this one before, right? Because when we were backtracking now, we were traveling all over the ones, and it's possible that we may have visited that one before when we were calculating area for previous island. Okay, now we just need to calculate area of current island if this is the case. So area equal to area. Now how we are going to find area, we will discuss later on. For now, let's assume that this function will tell me the area of the island. Okay, max area will be equal to math dot max of max area and area. And why is that? I'm just checking that till now, if there is all the areas that I have calculated is the max area, and I just need to check if the current area that I have calculated is greater than my previous max area. If this is true, then max area will be replaced by area, otherwise max area will remain as max area. Okay, and at the end I need to return max area of the island in the grid, and that's how this is going to work. Now we reach this find area function. Now in this find area function we will do same thing, the backtracking that we have already discussed, right? We are going to do backtracking in this place. Okay, so before we try to write this function definition, let's pass on some parameters to it. Okay, now what kind of parameter will this function require? First thing we will need is our grid, which is ARR. Okay, now we will also need visited array and the coordinate for our current cell at which this condition was true. So I comma j, and that's it. Now we need to just calculate this area using backtracking. Okay, now parameters: first grid, second visited of boolean, and then int row and int column. All right, so that's it. Now we need to do just backtracking in this. Yes, but before that, let's calculate m and n again, because I think we will require it here also. So that's it. All right, now we need to travel in 4 directions. Int d equal to 0, d less than 4, and d plus plus. Okay, now we are going to travel in 4 directions. So let's make some directions also. Okay, dir. Now what are these directions? These directions are going to be north, east, south, and west. If you try to write the coordinate for traveling south, it will be -1 comma 0, because row will be decreasing and column will remain same. Okay, and for traveling in east, my column will increase. For traveling to south, my row will increase only. For traveling west, what will happen? Row will remain same and column will decrease by 1. Right. So we are just going to write these four directions. Right. Let's write them. Minus 1 comma 0, 0 comma 1, 1 comma 0, 0 comma minus 1, and that's it. Now we are traveling in all four directions, but what we are going to calculate? We are going to calculate area. Okay, which will be equal to 0 at first, and also when we are traveling in some cell, we need to mark it visited. So int row and column equals to true. Okay, now new row will be calculated as row plus dir d 0, and new column will be calculated as column plus dir d and 1. Okay, now we need to check if these two these two coordinate are valid or not. So for that I need to place some check. This new row should be less than equal to sorry, greater than equal to 0, and new row should be less than m. Okay, and new column should be greater than equal to 0, and new column should be less than, and the coordinate for that coordinate for the cell should be of land. So arr new row into column should be a land. If there is land, then I can travel. Okay, and AR not ARR. It should not be visited before. And if this is the case, then area will be added from all the directions by doing backtracking. Okay, now let's remove all these directions because we don't need them now. And after this, we are just going to return area after adding the area of current cell. Okay, so that's it. Let's run it now. Okay. I haven't declared int j. Okay, I forgot that. And row should be present and column should be present. Okay, so let's run it now. So it's successfully submitted for a sample test case. Let's submit it. So it's submitted for a two test cases. All right, so it means that our code is completely correct. Now I told you that this question is very similar to a count number of island problem, right? So in that question we were doing the same thing, but in here we are just calculating area, and there what we were doing, we were just counting, we were just marking this visited array true, and we were just calling, we were not returning anything. And here we were, each time this call was made, count of island went by 1. Okay, so that was the case here. Okay, so if you will look very closely now, this question and number of island question are one and the same thing. Okay, so if you will haven't attempted it yet, I will say that go and attempt it, because now you know this solution, so you definitely can do that question as well. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I will see you in the next one.